Live from the Bill Austin Studios in downtown Phoenix, you're listening to Traffic Jam on Blaze Radio.
What is going on, everybody? We're back in the Bill Austin Studio. I'm Dominic Pasella, joined with my co-hosts
Noah Reed,
Melanie Ochoa,
and AJ Goncalves.
And how was everybody's Thanksgiving break? Where'd you all go? What'd you all do? Let's hear it.
I mean, I just stayed here. Spent the weekend down in a very, very empty Gordon Commons. Other than that, it was pretty good, though. Went out with a friend and his family. I was lucky enough to, go out and spend the day with them and had some good food. Home cooking for the first time in about 2 months was something that I was really in need of, and I cannot wait to go home and get some more home cooking.
Yeah, no, for me, I went back with family. I live in state, so they just kind of picked me up. It was a little bit weird because I usually make like the mac and cheese and everything for Thanksgiving, and it was like the first time in a couple of years that I didn't like bring anything. So, but it was all great, wonderful. Spent time with family. What about the rest of y'all?
Oh, it was so awesome leaving here 60, 70 degrees and then going home to Massachusetts into the 20s and 30s. That was a thrill ride. And I'll be taking it again on Saturday, of course. But Thanksgiving was great. Got to see family that I haven't seen since the summer. So it was an awesome time.
Yeah, for me, same with Noah. I stayed here, had fun. I mean, I figured it out. Got to go to the ASU versus U of A game on Saturday. That was kind of my peak, but we'll get into that in a bit. Actually, AJ, do you just want to take us into that now?
Yeah, let's talk about it, guys, right? ASU, how about the story of the year? I mean, we go here. I mean, there could be a little of an opinion there, but no, seriously, having a fantastic season. They're going to AT&T Stadium. They're heading to Arlington, heading to Jerry World, the Arizona State Sun Devils. They're going to play in the Big 12 championship game against the Iowa State Cyclones this Saturday, live from Dallas, Texas at 10 a.m. Mountain Time. The matchup features two teams that many of the Big 12 pundits really didn't see coming at all. Iowa State coming into this game off a 3-game winning streak, and similarly, ASU are heading into Dallas with a 5-game winning streak. Huge note here for the Sun Devils, though, in this matchup. They're going to be without their star wide receiver, Jordan Tyson. He's not going to be playing in the title game due to an injury he suffered in the Territorial Cup victory. The active odds for this game, according to FanDuel, have ASU being the favorite with a 2.5-point spread. It should be a fun one in Jerry World. I'll be watching on my TV. Unfortunately, I can't go to Jerry World because I'm flying back. So hopefully the airport has a TV that I can look at while I'm flying around the country here. But again, I'm excited for this game. Huge game for ASU. Guys, are you going to the game or just watching on TV? You better be excited for this one, huh?
I will be watching when I'm in the air. I fly back home to Michigan during the game. So I think my flight leaves at 10:45 in the morning. The game's at 10 in the morning here. So it's going to be weird not being able to watch it traditionally, but I'll definitely make sure that I have it on and I'm supporting ASU because nobody expected the Sun Devils to be here. Kenny Dillingham and the guys, especially Cam Scadaboo, have got it done this year, and really cool to see him go take on Iowa State.
I'm hyped. I'll have the game on here downtown. I think it'll start when I'll just be in my dorm, but I have work at 12, so we'll probably just kind of shift things, maybe get a little bit of that Blaze radio coverage of the game. Shameless plug. But, yeah, I'm excited for the game. Really not expecting to be as into college football as I was going into the year, but the tone has completely changed. What about you?
Honestly, very similarly. I'm pretty much going to be busy, unfortunately, that day. But I will be tuning in, of course, to Blaze Radio Sports. Again, another shameless plug-in. But honestly, I'm going to be on the edge of my seat, like, listening to it because, again, the start of this year, not a football fan at all. But ASU season really has turned that around. So I'm really excited to see them play at AT&T.
Yeah, and if ASU wins this game, they're looking in the college football playoff, and that matchups you can get there are going to be so much fun. You have to fill out your bracket, so interesting stuff for ASU at this time. Let's get into the NFL. I mean, football. This is a football-heavy sports segment, as you can tell here in the first week of December. NFL news: massive Thursday night football game tomorrow. Jordan Love and the 9-3 Green Bay Packers are going to head to Motown to take on Jared Goff and the 11-1 NFC-leading Detroit Lions. Don Pacella's Lions going to play in that game tomorrow on Amazon Prime. Both teams are coming off of Thanksgiving victories. Much anticipation on this matchup. Again, Detroit can clinch a playoff spot with a win tomorrow. If Detroit were to win this game, they would pick up their 11th straight victory, which would match a franchise record. Again, it's been a franchise type of season here for Detroit. They've been building up for years and years, and this team's loaded. I'm excited for this matchup. I think Green Bay is my sleeper team. I'm a sneaky Packer fan. As a Patriot fan myself, sneaky little Packer fan. I like Jordan Love. Oh, yeah, they must. And the Bears must disgust you, too. I'm glad you got that one. So,
yeah, Bears barely got it on Thanksgiving. Packers, though, that's just deep hatred right there. So definitely going to be fun to see the Detroit Lions go into a game with a lot of injuries. A lot of players are out for the Lions. Obviously, Aiden Hutchinson, major defensive pieces, and it's going to be a weird game because first game it was closer than people thought. 13-24 Lions in Lambeau Field. I believe that was the final score. So yeah, right here in Ford Field, I know it's going to be rocking, and hopefully the Lions can get 11 straight.
Do you guys have any thoughts? And if any NFL thoughts? Just anything coming up? Football at all, guys?
Man, just loving the good story. I got a couple of Lions friends back at home who I know are. He made a bet with his dad last year. He said, "Look, I know we didn't make it to the Super Bowl last year, but if the Lions go to the Super Bowl in 2025, can you get me tickets?" And so they made the bet. They shook on it, and right now they're trending towards that. So just as someone who's been, seeing him suffer as a Lions fan for a couple of years, I really do hope that they can kind of have that magical story of getting all the way.
I personally haven't been following, unfortunately. Just, again, been a little bit busy. But why don't we head to entertainment? Dom, do you want to?
Yeah. So I just read something kind of crazy. Dove, not the chocolate brand, but the soap brand, is partnering with Crumble Cookie to release Crumble Cookie scented deodorant and body wash. And the flavors will include confetti cake, strawberry crumb cake, and lemon glaze. My question, is anybody going to be trying this? Because I don't see myself putting on Crumble Cookie scented deodorant, but that's just me.
I mean, I'm sure it's going to pop up. Like, you're going to see this on Instagram and TikTok, but no, I definitely will not be putting on Crumble Cookie to any occasion.
Yeah, no, not my personal choice. But, of course, I understand the appeal of some of the flavors / scents. Not exactly sure what to call it. People really like strawberry and lemon. So, honestly, I'm expecting those two to be the most popular. But I'm personally planning on sticking to my lavender. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a sweets guy at all. I mean, I think I've said that in this show before. I'm just like the one oddball that doesn't like any cookies, cake, ice cream, anything like that, especially crumble. So I won't be trying it, but I actually do know somebody that is trying it, and they're a big crumble fan. So curious to see where that one goes. But no, seriously, not a crumble guy, but it sounds like a cool idea. I can't lie.
Yeah, and apparently it's supposed to last 72 hours, and I'm pretty sure deodorant's only supposed to last for 24. If you're putting deodorant on only once every 3 days, I'm sorry to break it to you, but you're doing something wrong. Anyway, it is the most wonderful time of the year, and no, I'm not talking Christmas. Spotify Wrapped just dropped, so did Apple Music Replay, and the 2024 Global Top Artist, you're not going to believe it, Taylor Swift, with 26.6 billion streams on Spotify, followed by The Weeknd, Bad Bunny, and Drake. That Taylor Swift bit was sarcasm, if you couldn't tell, by the way. I thought I made that pretty clear. But, yeah, no, Taylor Swift obviously topping charts like she does best. And what was everybody's Spotify Wrapped, Apple Music Replay? What did you guys have this year?
Well, I mean, if we're going to unwrap this segment, I feel like we got to go around the table and share at least our top few artists. I was pretty spot on. I kind of guessed who my top artists were going to be. Billy Joel, Megan Rooney, and Journey were my top three. Only listened to Billy Joel for, let's see here, over 4,383 minutes. So once again, I made the top 0.005% of fans. So pretty happy about that. Pretty pumped. What about you guys?
I had my top three artists were Rio de Young OG. He's a Detroit/Flint based rap artist. Young Gravy, who gets a lot of hate, but he is a spectacular, I want to call him rapper, but he doesn't really do rap. I don't know. I don't really know his genre, but Young Gravy, my goat. Seen him in person 4 times. And Babytron, another Detroit guy. And actually Taylor Swift took the 4th spot. So a lot of variety there, going from like hard rap to Young Gravy to more hard rap to Taylor Swift. But yeah, it's fun.
Yeah, let's see here. I got Kendrick Lamar in my 1 spot. I got Drake in the 2. I have Billy Joel 3. I have Jeepers Creeps here. Hold on, it's loading. Morgan Wallen is my 5, and then my 4 is. Let me look here. It's loading again. Unbelievable. Wi-Fi. Am I right here, guys?
Yeah.
No, seriously though. Kendrick Lamar was my 1, and I'm still waiting on my 4 here. I think it was. Oh, there it is. Jay-Z. Got it.
The Jay-Z solid pick.
Fun. For me, for 4 years in a row, I got Mitski as my top artist, which says something about me. Not sure if it's positive, but number 2 and number 3, no change also from last year. Number 2 is Leve, 3 is Caliuchis. 4 and 5 are new additions, with Charlie XCX being number 4, with their Brat album taking like two top song places, and then 5 Tyler the Creator, which comes from Cornucopia.
So you had a Brat summer, is what I'm hearing.
Basically, yeah.
Shout out Charlie XCS. I didn't really get her music until she was on Saturday Night Live, and I was like, oh, she's actually she's pretty cool. But yeah, Spotify Wrapped, I would say, is the best time of year. It's something that you wait for every year, and then there are those people who are like, oh, I really don't want my Wrapped to look like this. And then the last, like my roommate, the last few weeks, he's been spamming one artist, like just playing him over and over. That way he gets the top spot instead of like Drake, I think, or something that he didn't want being the top. So
It's a good strategy, actually. Yeah.
I mean,
care deeply about it. Yeah, it's a great strat.
I was doing the opposite of that with Mitski, listening to everything except for her, because I was trying not to get her as my number 1.
But 4 years in a row, it's inevitable. I'm pretty sure I had 4 years in a row of Young Gravy. Last year, Drake took over, and now Drake's not even in my top 5. It was Rio. So Rio's currently locked up in jail. Gets out next month though. So I'm hyped.
Interesting. Yeah.
Yeah.
One last go around the table. Just curious what everyone's top song was and how many times did you guys listen?
Oh my gosh. Oh, I need to go find that.
I'll start us off then, because I did have Piano Man by Billy Joel. Listened to it 82 times. 82 times. 0.0005% of listeners
Oh my
worldwide.
goodness.
I love Billy Joel, guys. I love Billy Joel.
Piano Man is a great song. We listen to that at every family Christmas party. Everybody sings along. Still don't know all the lyrics yet, though. I feel like I should. Same with American Pie. Always get in a circle and sing, and I don't know all the words, but we're working on it.
Classic songs. I have Empire State of Mind. I just like that song. I don't know why. Like, I'm from Boston. I'm from Boston. That's
You should hate New York.
I know. I just like the song. The song was like someone was on a heater writing those lyrics. So I love it.
Yeah, my top song was A Cold Sunday by Lil Yachty. I was in the 0.05% of listeners, but it doesn't tell me how many. Oh, streamed it 48 times. So I don't know how many minutes that is. I don't feel like doing the math, but that's a pretty decent amount. I feel like I had other songs that should have cracked number 1, but I mean, I'll take it. I'm a big Lil Yachty guy.
Honestly, yeah. Mine was Von Dutch by Charlie XCX. Took my number 1. I listened to it 92 times. So
Oh my goodness.
it's my hype song, so I listen to it whenever I'm nervous. So honestly, it worked. So
Yeah, that's good to hear. Type songs always good to have.
I know. I am going to move it on to international news, though. 2 breaking stories. Over in South Korea, South Korea's opposition parties, the Democratic Party and a couple of minor parties here and there, submitted motions to impeach President Yoon Suk Yeol. They decided to do the motion today because of the president's short-lived declaration of martial law late Tuesday night. He declared martial law because of anti-state forces, which he didn't specify who the anti-state forces were, and in the same speech also continued to criticize the Democratic Party's attempt to impeach different government officials and senior prosecutors. So many are assuming the anti-state forces were meant to be the Democratic Party there. After the president's declaration, South Koreans took to the streets to protest, with many protesting outside of parliament. This continued on until 6 hours later of just straight protesting when the martial law was lifted. It was lifted after the National Assembly voted to overrule President Yoon and his cabinet right before dawn today over in South Korea. Impeaching President Yoon would require support of 2/3 of parliament and 6 out of 9 of the justices of the Constitutional Court endorsing this. So yeah, very, very chaotic past 2 days for South Koreans.
Yeah, no, most definitely. And it's weird because like their neighbors up north are already dealing with a lot of dictatorship and tyranny, and then it looks like, putting martial law into place is definitely a good stepping stone to tyranny. So it's good that they have the power at least to impeach someone and try to get them out of office before South Korea becomes like North Korea.
Yeah, it's an interesting time in the international affairs. I know you got another story, right, Melanie?
Yeah. The second one actually just happened just today, a couple hours ago. Prime Minister Michel Barnier was ousted after a vote by French lawmakers. This comes 3 months after he was appointed by President Macron, and Macron says that he will be addressing the country Thursday evening. But this was incredibly wild because both far-right and left-wing lawmakers voted earlier today to oust him, which was, if anybody's familiar with French politics, which I'm assuming you're not, that never happens where both parties agree. It's very similar to the U.S. where they're very polarized at the moment. So the fact that they all decided to vote for him in a no-confidence vote is quite frankly wild. His power was called into question after he used special powers to push past his budget without a prior vote. And again, I just want to highlight how wild this entire situation is because a prime minister hasn't been ousted over in France since 1962. So
That's crazy. Yeah, that's actually insane, and it appears they have reasons for it, right? Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep. So it's an interesting look at it. I know someone that has like a French relative, and apparently they actually were talking about this guy at some point. And I was reading a story about it today too. Just how rare this was, and like putting it into like American politics for you, like a very like powerful person here getting taken out of the position.
And I think also, coming at it from the angle that we do, it just makes me at least feel grateful for the system we have. I know a lot of people will dunk on the American political system and, just slam it for problem after problem. But, we do really have a lot of privileges here that a lot of countries don't enjoy and a lot of people don't have access to. So, just seeing kind of the chaos from the outside world, does really kind of say a lot about, the good things we do have going for us. And I think that's kind of where I'll tie it. If anybody else here has any thoughts on that they'd like to add.
No, I think you nailed it on the head, Noah. That was great.
No. Actually, no. Do you want to move on to local news?
This is the part where he makes me hungry every week. I have another radio show after this, and I have to wait till 7 o'clock to eat. And then when I get out of here, I'm literally running to the dining hall. And even if it's not the best food at all, I literally run to the dining hall and I load up my plate because I get so hungry, and then I get stuffed off dining hall food. It happens to me every week, and I'm sure it's going to happen this week too.
Yeah, this was not my intention. I think 3 of the hosts are starving. I don't know about you, Melanie, but I am hungry. But we'll get right on into it. We got the top 100 restaurant list was released by Open Table earlier this week, and Arizona had 2 local Scottsdale restaurants featured on the prestigious list. We'll start off with Cafe Monarch. They got 4.9 stars. They're a world of culinary elegance with sophistication you won't find anywhere else. They also ranked as a top 3 dining restaurant in the nation on several other platforms. It's family owned and operated, which for me is always huge. They're located in Old Town Scottsdale on the Cross Street on the southwest corner of First and Goldwater Boulevard. They offer contemporary American cuisine with some, business casual dress. So it's kind of an upscale joint if you want to ever go and check it out. But I looked at, the location. I checked out some pictures, and guys, this is it's insane. It looks really darn cool. So I don't know if you guys before we get into the next one, what's the fanciest restaurant you guys have ever eaten there or eaten at, and what was the dish?
That is a really, really good question, and you're gonna have to come back to me on that.
Hell's Kitchen. I went there for lunch, and the bill was expensive for lunch in Las Vegas, Nevada. Hell's Kitchen. Let's just say my parents were not happy to pay that bill. I had to go with the signature beef Wellington. My other family members got filet mignon, all that fun stuff you see in the show. It has a price. But was it worth it? Was it good? Yeah, that was really good. Gordon wasn't there, but it was good. It was really good food, and I had a great time. So, pricey, though.
Oh, yeah, no. I'm trying to remember. I've actually been to one of the restaurants you listed here. But there's this one restaurant over in Las Vegas and stuff like that. And they had, it was, Mexican food from the Pueblo what's the name of it? Oh my gosh. Yeah, I think you're gonna have to come back to me. But yeah, they had really good upscale Mexican food and stuff like that over there, which is really good.
Dom, are you ready, or do you need to come back to you?
I mean, I feel like I've just gone to some nicer steakhouses. I've never been a fancy restaurant guy. I love Taco Bell. I'm a big fan of cheap food. So I mean, yes, a 5-star meal definitely sounds enticing. But I don't know. I feel like it doesn't really matter to me too much. So nothing comes to me right now. But maybe 10 minutes from now I'll think about it and then be like, oh, I should have said that on the show. So,
I'm with you on that, Dom. I could go cheeseburger, hot dog every day of the week. Never have to go expensive for me. You could go McDonald's for 3 days in a row. I really wouldn't complain. You could save a lot of money that way too.
The same way with Taco Bell.
Again, Portuguese always have to save the money,
For me, there's about an hour up north from where I live. There's a fantastic Italian restaurant out in the middle of nowhere. You wouldn't think to stop, but it's kind of hidden in this grove of trees. Beautiful. You walk up there, and the full, like, practically 5-course meal is presented. They dish you up. They give you massive serving sizes, and everything is like quality to the T. And that's kind of what Dominic's Steakhouse, also at 4.9 stars, they're bringing that to the table because they tout that every ingredient that goes into their menu is of the highest quality. Prime grade beef is a part of what makes it a steakhouse, and Scottsdale residents are always talking about. They're found on Scottsdale Road and Greenway in the Scottsdale Quarter, and when you arrive, this is interesting. I've never heard of this before, but you're greeted with complimentary valet service. They take your car, you waltz on into the restaurant, and there you can find executive chef Antonio Benavides. He leads the kitchen. They also got live entertainment featuring a duo of Jim and Charity at the piano. They provide energetic favorites, classic standards from the 60s to today. So you get free valet service, a seasoned executive chef, and piano. It's like that one scene from La La Land where it's like the fine dining. You've got the piano playing. Like, man, I want to go right now.
I would love to see the bill, though.
Oh yeah, everything was pretty pricey, but it was ranked really well for bang for your buck, I will say.
Well, that's good. Steak's my kryptonite. If you were to call me Superman, my kryptonite would definitely be steak. So I'm making me hungry like always. I appreciate it though.
I've actually been to Dominic's Steakhouse, and honestly, this review is well earned. I'm not a steak kind of person. Like if there's an option for chicken on the menu at any steakhouse, I immediately choose that one. But Dominic's Steakhouse, I wasn't gonna get chicken at such a fancy place known for their steak. So I remember I had a filet mignon, and it was like the best filet mignon I've ever had. Like, I'm not a fan of steak, and I loved it. So if you have the money, go. That's what I'm trying to tell you. So.
Well, if maybe we'll go once. Maybe we'll go one time before we graduate here. But you mentioned earlier, it's the Christmas season, and who doesn't love Christmas lights? Heading out to Christmas lights. I know that back in my hometown, there is about 1.5 mile, 2 mile block that literally is all Christmas lights. They do a huge, huge festival. But World of Illumination, they're bringing that right here to Arizona. And if you guys are taking off in the evening, you might be able to even see this. But it's more than just a Christmas light show. It's been dubbed as the best drive-through Christmas lights show in the U.S. with millions of dazzling lights and unique themes that's nothing short of extraordinary. And this year, there's actually two locations that you guys can visit. There's one in Glendale. The theme there is Rockin' Christmas. And then in Tempe, you can trek into the jungle as you're transported into an enchanted safari. Have you guys got any major Christmas lights displays back in your hometowns? And then, like, what's your favorite Christmas light just kind of display that you guys got going?
So every year in my hometown, they do like a Jeep parade. So everybody that has a Jeep Wrangler gets to, they meet in a parking lot, they decorate their car full of Christmas lights, and they just kind of drive down the main roads with decked out in Christmas lights, and it's really cool. And one year, there were a few years in a row where I could like see it from my room because I don't live that far from the main road. And then I got a Jeep Wrangler for when I was 16. So I was immediately, I was like, I need to join in. So I think one of the coolest things I got to do during the Christmas season is decorate my car with Christmas lights and cruise around with all these other Jeep Wranglers in the parade.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I don't really have like a connection like that. I would just probably say my favorite like display. First off, the Christmas light people, those are the warriors out there, man. This Christmas season, I mean, it takes a lot of like dedication to like go on your house, like go near your house, put lights up. It's a lot of work, so I appreciate the effort. The one thing like that always stood out to my life, like with Christmas ornament, like Christmas lights rather. If you've watched National Lampoon Christmas Vacation, Clark Griswold puts the lights on his house.
That's what I was thinking.
That's the one thing that always stand out to me. That is classic. If you ever need a good movie, I mean, that's the best Christmas movie. We may get to that later. I don't know, but I already gave you my answer. It was that good, and that light scene was so funny, and it always stuck out in my mind.
For me, honestly, the best like little like lights display that I've seen around the valley is zoo lights over at the Phoenix Zoo. Honestly, I've been there like twice. I went once when I was a little bit smaller, and then recently. And still now, it just amazes me and stuff. Like, they close down the zoo, they put the animals away to go to sleep and stuff, and they just, like, so quickly, like, put everything together, and it's, like, it's so pretty, it's so nice. I recommend it, but yeah.
Yeah, the Detroit Zoo does something similar. Almost completely forgot about it. I've been to the zoo lights there in Detroit a couple times. They do something very similar, and they go over the top. Everywhere you look, it's Christmas light, Christmas light, Christmas light. They give out hot cocoa. Yeah, so Christmas I did not know was a major thing here, and it makes me glad to see that people still celebrate the holiday. I mean, obviously they do, but they're still festive, even though they don't get the snow and the cold weather that I'm used to back home, which I'm glad that I do get to go back home and have a white Christmas.
I like the Christmas out here a little good too. I like 65 and Christmas time. That's awesome. I've never seen that in my life, so this is a first for me.
Well, and speaking of that, this is about it. This almost wraps up our show, but I just kind of want to go around one last time. Like, Christmas plans. Anyone got anything going on that's just going to be like, oh, I have to share this?
Christmas Eve party with my family every year in my great aunt's house. Definitely my favorite time of the year, that and 4th of July, because my dad's side of the family is really big, and getting to celebrate with all of them is probably the most fun that I have every year.
Yeah, going home. And honestly, with you guys, it's been an honor to work here with you guys and have a great producer like Ches in the back. I hope you guys have great Christmases as well.
Yeah, no. For me, my plans are mainly just to hang out with friends that went out of state. Especially, I have one friend who went to France to go study, so she's been like begging me to like take her to like In-N-Out and like Cane's and stuff. So that's gonna be my Christmas gift to her. She has the car, I have the money, so yeah, we're just gonna go out. And again, like AJ said, I'm very grateful to have you guys as my cast. Special thank you to Ches, of course, being our producer. So.
Yeah, should be fun. I'm going to go home. Got a whole day lined up where it'll be me and my grandparents and a couple of cousins and aunts and uncles. Literally, we just bake from dawn to dusk.
Amazing. All right. Merry Christmas, everybody. I'm grateful for all of you, especially Ches in the back. That is a wrap for the semester of Traffic Jam. We'll see you guys next semester. Bye.